I was not going to do a video on this. I was not going to do a video on this. In fact, it is so ridiculous, I feel kind of even wasting your time with it. We're going to talk about it anyway. So, one of our candidates running for president, guy's name is Betos, I forgot his first name. He made some comments lately in the aftermath of the Odessa shootings down there in Texas. Well, context. He has said in the past he supports a mandatory buyback program. And he's talked about, we're going to take your M60, we're going to take your AK-47, all this kind of stuff. So, let's keep that in mind. We're talking about Texas. We're talking about a politician that believes in taking away in gun confiscation. You might not understand. So, yeah, this mass shooting in Odessa. This guy was running around shooting people in his car. Another mass shooter, another white mass shooter. And Beto said, it was just so many people getting hurt that they didn't have enough ambulance to take away all the people. They didn't have enough support. And there was a fire chief that actually came out against him and actually said that they disagree with it, that we should be applauding the first responders and not be using this political. And he says that like that's the first mass shooting we've had all year long. Like he actually said it as though we didn't have the Pittsburgh mass shooting. You didn't have the one over there in New Zealand. You haven't had the synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh. All the other mass shootings you had under Trump. He acts as though, like I always tell you guys, nothing operates or exists in a vacuum. Everything exists in context, in relation to other things. So he's talking about ignorance. So he says, disagrees, and our men got them less than 9 minutes. Totally irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. None of that means anything. They could have been there in 2 seconds. And they even later on even came out and admitted they were like, yeah, it was so much. It was tough for us to deal with this. That we don't really train for that. That's all he was saying. That's all Beto was saying. It's so horrible that we keep dealing with these things and you really can't. The fire department's job is fires. Their job is car wrecks. Their job is high-angle rescue. Okay? Their job is not to go in there in the aftermath of a guy running around with an assault weapon killing multiple people. That's not their job. And I don't think you'll ever be able to really... You can't unless you have every cop is in SWAT gear all the time. This is what they want. They want militarized police to deal with the poor anyway. But it just blew my mind when I heard that. Because I'm like, how do you take what he said and take that as any kind of an attack on your firemen? He did, and then he came out and apologized. Beto came out and apologized and clarified, like, dude, I'm not this. I told you in another video, I bet you Beto couldn't even tell you who the first firefighter got off the truck, who the first fire engine showed up, what number, even what department showed up. He couldn't tell you that. Why? Because it doesn't matter. He didn't say that to attack firefighters. But I talked to my friend Denzel about this, and it got me thinking about the same thing with the Kaepernick thing. How people say stuff, and these white men are like, oh, it's so bad. You guys it's so horrible that they're doing this. You're not thankful for being an American when nobody has said anything. Nobody has attacked troops. You know why? White supremacy is in danger. And so white supremacy right now is in conflict with itself. And so anybody who draws attention to this, white mass shooters every day, all this violence, anyone who draws attention to it is anti-American. Because as an American, you're supposed to ignore it. You're supposed to just say, oh, well, it's just violence, and not see it as a outward showing of a sickness in white America. And so that's why they would say that. That's why they have this approach to it. That's why they have all this negativity. This is what this is really about. This is about a group of people who have hate in their heart, who rather than deal with these kind of issues, you know. And then I also realize how Texas is really regressive. They want to go back to cowboys and Indians anyway. They still do fingerprints with ink down there. You're dealing with people who are regressive. Everything about them is regressive. You can't reason with that. So, you know what? Like I said the other day that when you're bold and you're black, you're gonna be hated. And it's so sad because what Betos said, them people in Texas, they have a brain, average, normal folks like me, they would recognize that and say, yes, we are all in danger. Yes, that's real. I bet InfoWars got something on this. I bet they do. He's attacking the firefighter. Look at him. See, that's what white supremacy does. It cloaks itself in the badge. It cloaks itself in the flag. That's why during Charlottesville, you had them white people out there with the Blue Lives Matter flag. And I was like, why did they have a balloon? Because that's white supremacy. They cloak themselves in the institutions. Now we know there are a bunch of military folks at Charlottesville. You had a major out there. You had some Marines. Yes. Now we know that. That's what white supremacy is. It cloaks itself in the systems to maintain control of everybody else of society, but to do it in such a manner that it's legitimized. That seeing those guys, those military folks, that high-ranking people, that should be a warning. This Coast Guard guy they had, he'd been in the Marine Corps for like 10 years, and they found out he was a member of Identity Europa. That should show you something right there. Oh yeah. That should really show you something right there. But like I said, I think that they have to always do that and go back to calling you unpatriotic and calling you a traitor, because they can't stand for anybody to take a second and look at really what's being shown. Whether it's me talking, whether it's Beto talking, whether it's Kaepernick taking a knee, whatever. Anytime you have non-white people stand up and speak out against white supremacy, you're always going to stand a chance of running up against these people. Like I don't know if that's something they just learned recently. They've been doing it for a while, but white supremacy, they cloak themselves in the institutions. So now if you attack one of them, you're attacking the institution. So if I say Robert Preston is a dirty cop, Sharp Police dirty cop, then by the nature of my claim, I must be attacking the entire police department. And I'm attacking law enforcement in general, right? When I'm not. I'm talking about one person's actions, one person's deeds, one person's character. That's why, it's almost like white supremacy is crying wolf. Thanks for listening.